What's up, everyone? This is Kronos, aka Adam, back with another WWE Week In review. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Social media is down there. I've already posted my AEW Week In review, which I'll post a link at the end of that. Got everything up on audio now, working somewhat better. Usually it takes a day for Apple Podcasts, but Podomatic is usually up right away. So checking the links in my on my Twitter. So as always, I got just like a chill. So go over everything that happens this week in WWE from Raw, NXT, Smackdown. Basically, if you didn't watch it, I got you covered. And yeah, so we're going to just jump through all these programs and get out of here for the day. So we start off with Raw, as always, Monday nights. Miz and Morrison out to the ring. We find out there's going to be a 6-man tag with Randy Orton on their side and Drew and the New Day on the other side. Randy's music cuts off Miz and Morrison. He's okay. Sorry. Sometimes my notes. So Randy's music hits, cuts off Miz. He comes out to the ring. He's mad because he thinks Miz is trying to set him up. Randy says he can do it himself right now. New Day come out. Randy hits RKO on Kofi. Drew is out. Goes right after Randy. Miz with the briefcase to Drew. He gets sent into an RKO. So, Miz and Morrison are like, see, we helped you. We helped you. So we get a last spot in the Men's Survivor Series qualifier triple threat match. Elias, Hardy, and Matt Riddle. So this is the first match since Matt, his first name was axed. Elias says things really haven't gone his way. He needs this. Keeps thinking he's about to get interrupted. He's like, I'm going to play a song right now. And then waits a second. Okay, I'm going to play a song right now. Another beat goes by. Nothing happens. So then he's finally about to play. Obviously, Hardy's music does hit. He comes out to the ring. Riddle's out to the ring. His jacket still says M. Riddle, which obviously Matt Riddle. AJ and Jordan are watching backstage. Elias sends Hardy into the post and Riddle into the barricade. We had a twist of fate that's countered into a drift away. Riddle breaks the count there. Fisherman Brainbuster by Riddle on Elias. Hardy breaks the count. Another twist of fate attempt. Elias with the jumping knee sends Hardy to the outside. But while that is going on, Riddle hits the Bro Derek on Elias for the win. So Elias is now, Matt Riddle is now the fifth member. The fifth man, brother. He is the fifth man on the Survivor Series men's team. Okay. Screw it. AJ is making a deal with Pierce backstage. AJ is happy Riddle won. Sheamus confronts him. That's your decision. It wasn't Sheamus. It was the end of the match. It was a triple threat. So, no, it wasn't his decision. Sheamus says AJ isn't his captain. Strowman shows up. He says he's not his captain. Okay. We had a Retribution promo. Ricochet will face Ali later tonight. Ricochet is an honorable man for turning down the Hurt Business, but he's still a fool. One man cannot make a change. And then Mia, I guess, does her own promo. It sounds like she's calling out Alexa. I can't really tell. She says something about pink and green hair, but I don't think Alexa has green hair, so... they're still going with the stupid names. At first Ali was addressing them. I thought he was going to finally give them their real names and they were going to take off the masks. Of course, that didn't happen. Hurt Business backstage. Gulak dressed in a suit. He wants to be part of the expansion. MVP says they're not accepting applications. And then Bobby pulls out his tie and it's a clip-on. And they're all like, you're wearing a clip-on tie? And he's like, I'm a 24/7 champ. It's tactical. I have to get away sometimes. Which, in theory, is actually a smart idea. They beat him down, and then Truth pins him for the win. So he regains the 24/7 title. We then get our next match, Lana versus Shayna. You know how this is going to go. Lana almost walks to the back, decides, you know what, I'm not going to be a wuss. I'm going to go out there. We get a recap of all the table shots. Lana goes right after Shayna. Mandy and Dana are on commentary watching. Shayna does the arm stomp, gut wrench kind of drop, knee lift pulled into, and then she does the knee lift, pulls Lana up at 2 count, puts on the Karafuda clutch for the win. Mandy and Dana aren't happy with Lana because they just think that she's the weak link. Lana's pleading not to be put through a table. Mandy and Dana stop Nia, saying they need to get their shit together. Basically, we all know where this is going. I mean, obviously there's a more later on, but we know where this is going. We know. She's gonna be the sole survivor, guys and girls. Lana will be the sole survivor because WWE logic. Anyway, all right. So we get Mandy and Dana backstage. Lana comes up. She thanks them. They did it to send them a message. You cost us the title. Just stay out of our way. Obviously, Lana is looking dejected. Even more of a reason why this is all happening. AJ out to call a Survivor Series team meeting. He said Matt Riddle, so that was kind of funny. Keith owes him a receipt from last week. Sheamus hasn't forgotten either. Riddle trying to diffuse the situation, giving everyone sick code names, calls Sheamus Fireface. They think it's a ginger joke, and no, he's no, I forget exactly what it was, but it wasn't Fireface. It was because he gets mad and red or something like that. And then he's like, "What's your name, Doofus?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "How'd you know, bro?" So AJ calls out the Smackdown team and starts to make sense. He's like, "Look who they have. They have this guy. They have this guy." Even though they don't have their full complement, I don't think. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't even think they have their full team. SmackDown really dropped the ball with that. So yeah, he's saying that they need to be together, and he's like, you know what, let's have a tag match, get all this aggression out. Sheamus and Strowman versus Lee and Riddle. He's going to be the special guest referee. He has a C on his ref shirt too for captain, which I thought was a nice little touch. So he says he's gonna. So far he's calling it down the middle. He's trying to be objective referee. I knew I was gonna forget that. Knew it. We get calling it down the middle. Riddle hits AJ twice by accident. AJ gets squashed between Strowman and Lee. Jordan in the ring. AJ seems to get up enough to stop him, and then we hit a commercial cliffhanger. We get okay. So yes, we are recording. Okay, so I had a technical difficulty. I thought I hit the record button, and I just went through the rest of Raw, and apparently I didn't even record it. So where I left off, there was a cliffhanger. We get an Irish curse on Riddle. Strowman posted hot tag to Lee, cleaning house. Sheamus tossed into Strowman. Lee spirit bombs Riddle onto Sheamus. We get a bro kick on Lee. German bridge on Sheamus for a 2 count. We get Strowman with the blind tag. Sheamus does the same thing. Sheamus bro kicks Strowman by accident, I believe. Riddle rolls up Sheamus for the win. So hopefully this gets all the stuff out between them. Nikki finds Alexa backstage. Alexa doesn't even remember them meeting. Basically, she says, "Oh, I'll invite you to the fun house." Nikki says, "No, you need to choose." Obviously, she's going to choose The Fiend. Bobby's out with MVP, saying that the Hurt Business will get a tag team title match next week. Titus comes out saying, "You disrespected me. That wasn't business. That was personal." He says, "What's good with that title if you're not going to defend it?" So he actually gives him a title shot. Bobby does. MVP says, "This is going to be fought above the ring, not under the ring." Titus World Slide. So they get a match between them for the U.S. title. Titus gets a little offense in, but it's a spear and a hurt lock, and that is it. So it's basically a squash. Asuka versus Nia. Pretty even match throughout. All of the Survivor Series women's teams out there. Shayna comes in for the disqualification win as Asuka starts to mount some offense. They put Lana through a table again. That's pretty much it. They want her to quit. We get Truth backstage. He thinks he's having a 7-camera shoot, but apparently it's a 7-person basically scramble match. So we get a 24/7 title. Truth, Gulak, Lucha House Party, Akira Tozawa, Tucker, and Eric. Just going to run through all the wins here. So everyone attacks Truth. Akira wins. Eric wins with a roll-up. Drew wins with a roll-up. Tucker wins with a small package. Gulak wins. Tucker wins again. Grand Metalik wins. Lindsay rolls him up, and then it hits an attitude adjustment on Lindsay for the win and runs off. Ali versus Ricochet. I hate the camera cuts on Retribution's entrance. Pretty even match. Retribution surrounds him. Ricochet on the outside distract him so that Ali can hit a neck breaker as they go to commercial. Ali keeps saying that Ricochet needs them. Ricochet hits a nasty Snapdragon suplex and then a brain buster for a 2 count. We get an avalanche backstabber by Ali, which looked really cool. Ricochet hits a poison rana, then goes for a tornado on the outside on all of Retribution. Goes for a Phoenix Splash, misses, and then Ali hits the Koji clutch on Ricochet. He passes out for the win. Pierce is backstage with Randy Orton. He's told he's going to defend his title next week. He starts to get physical. Says you can tell the staff to go to hell. And then we get that tag, 6-man tag. Randy, Miz, Morrison versus Drew and the New Day. Randy doesn't want to tag. Springboard head scissors by Kofi, and then a cave-in on Morrison. They start chanting "We Miss E," and they do a stereo dive. Honor roll by Woods hits Miz for a 2 count. Randy leaves. He's done with this. Morrison catches a Claymore for the win there. That is Raw for this week. Back again. Sorry. All right, so we got through Raw. Let's get to NXT. So as we knew, Gargano is out in the ring with the Wheel of Challengers. We knew that he would be defending his NXT title, trying to break the curse of him not being able to defend his titles once he wins them. He lost both the North American and NXT in his first defense. He breaks the curse tonight. He gimmicks the wheel. It chooses Leon Ruff. Gargano is messing with him. Johnny in complete control. Ruff sent into the steps from the apron. Then he's set into the barricade. Priest is there watching. Ruff long darted into the turnbuckle, but then eventually hits the crucifix bomb by Ruff on Johnny for the win. We have a new North American champion, probably the biggest upset in the history of NXT, maybe ever. Since I haven't seen an upset like this since like the 1-2-3 Kid. And this is even crazy because it was for a title, even though I don't think Leon Ruff will be the next Sean Waltman because he's just, Hall of Famer. So Priest is out to celebrate. Leon Ruff is so skinny that he can't even keep the title on his waist. Backstage, everyone's congratulating him. Priest gives him his car keys. He's like, listen, Johnny's going to come back here and be pissed. Here's my keys to my black challenger. Get the hell out of here. Johnny comes back, blames Priest. They are going back and forth, yelling at each other. So then we get a Cruiserweight title match. Santos Escobar versus Jake Atlas. LDF with the jobber entrance. Wilder and Mendoza are selling injuries. We find out earlier today that Atlas was taking them out with a pipe to the chest and to the ribs. That's why they're selling those injuries. Escobar is targeting the neck and back. Vic mentions Devlin's probably watching. Obviously, Jordan Devlin, the true Cruiserweight champion. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Atlas taking out Wilder and Mendoza with the pipe. Springboard blockbuster by Atlas for a 2 count. We come back from break. Mendoza and Wilder being sent to the back because they were trying to trip Atlas. We get Escobar with a Frankensteiner and then a frog splash for a 2 count. Atlas attempts the cartwheel DDT. He's pushed off the ropes into the commentary desk. Atlas botches a dive badly. He tries a version of the "You Can't Escape." Goes for a standing moonsault, but only gets a 2 count. Cartwheel DDT again. It's counted into the butterfly facebuster for the win. Escobar just looks shocked that he retained because that was a tough match. Dexter Lumis backstage drawing a caricature of Grimes and the zombie ref. Everyone's watching him. Recap of Candice destroying Shotzi's tank. And Shotzi talking about how important it is and how it represents her family that's in the military. Raquel versus Xia Li. That was set up last week. Boa comes to the ring, says that Xia isn't here. And then Raquel just beats the shit out of Boa. Hits the one-arm powerbomb. Then the lights dim. There's some white dragon on the screens. This old Asian guy comes out, gives Boa a letter, and then marks his hand. He looks shook. So we don't know what's going on there. Backstage interview with Austin Green. He's attacked by Thatcher. He throws him into Thatcher's drawing. They go face-to-face. Regal breaks them up. Toni Storm versus Candice LeRae. Candice early today talking about how much she liked destroying the tank and will destroy Toni the same way. Not running her over, obviously. Storm is in control for most of the beginning of this match. She misses a hip attack into the steps. Candice takes advantage during picture-in-picture. We get the big headbutt by Storm. They're both down. Snap German by Storm. Hip attack in the corner. Fisherman suplex by Storm. Only gets a 2 count there. Candice misses an avalanche swinging neckbreaker. Storm misses a top rope leg drop. Candice with the roll up with her feet on the ropes for the win. Storm starts attacking her. Then the person with the scream mask comes out. Shotzi comes out but can't overcome the numbers. They do an assisted stomp on Shotzi. And then obviously the screen character reveals herself to be Indy Hartwell, who we obviously knew that was going to be. Breezango are backstage. Took too long to get there to have it stolen by McAfee. So we get Thatcher and Loomis. That was set up obviously because of the confrontation backstage. Thatch going after the ankle he kayfabe originally injured. Thatch with a bow and arrow. Massive spinebuster by Loomis, selling his right arm. Thatch takes control. Then Loomis takes control, ignoring the right arm pain. Thatch tries to hit a superplex. Loomis barely hits a senton from the top rope. Grimes distracts enough for Thatch to get the pin on Loomis. Grimes then attacks, puts a sack over Loomis's head, basically saying that if I can't see your eyes, I can't get scared. Cave in while Loomis is sitting in the chair. So Johnny's backstage, goes to Regal's office, saying that he's calm. He's saying that the match should be thrown out. I gimmicked the wheel. Regal says no. He loses his cool. He admits he rigged the wheel. And then Regal goes, well, I guess the curse is still alive. Ciampa promo, this was kind of lame. Approaching 16 years in the business, talking about Kowalski and Harley, and didn't have to tell you, they were tough. Again, talking about, how this new generation doesn't respect it, whatever. Last of a dying breed. I thought, Eli Drake's going to come out and beat the shit out of you. 2020 locker room culture needs to change. Okay. Prime Target, Io versus Rhea Ripley. I didn't find anything interesting in that one. McAfee and company come out to the ring. Pat's rocking a turtleneck with a short sleeves. Then I realized, nope, it was just like one of those gaiters around his neck. Dane's not medically cleared after the beatdown from last week. His business, he says, is valued at $150 million. He's about to dominate commentary, but he doesn't talk down to Barrett, and Barrett loves it. Grimes backstage during commercial break. He was afraid of Loomis's, but no longer. Got somewhere he needs to be, to the moon. Balor will be there next week to address his status. So we get our main event, the NXT tag titles, Birch and Lorcan versus Breezango. Gets broken down on the outside. Birch slingshotted into the barricade. Pat calls Vic stupid and a stupid Michael Cole Jr., which I thought was funny. Tyler Breeze throws Birch into Pat and Pete Dunne, who are at commentary. Birch and Lorcan take control during picture-in-picture. Pat's now left commentary. He's at ringside. Fandango hits a Falcon Arrow on Lorcan. Birch breaks the count. Fandango hits a Tope Con Hero, takes out Birch and Dunne. Drake takes out Lorcan. Then Pat McAfee, when the ref was turned. Fandango top rope leg drop on Lorcan, but only gets a 2 count. I was excited because I thought that was like one of his finishers. We get the assisted DDT on Fandango for the win, though. Drake tries to take them all out, but he gets beat down. They do an X-Plex on the commentary. Breezango tries, but the numbers are just too much. And then they take Breeze, drape him over commentary, and then Pat McAfee punts him. And that is NXT for the week. And we're back again. Sorry. Now we are at Smackdown. So Roman comes out to the ring with Heyman. Paul calls Roman the island of relevancy because whoever's around him is now relevant. The analytics don't lie. Look at Jay. He's now main event Jay now. At Survivor Series, he'll establish his dominance over the secondary champ. Talk shit on Orton. Drew's music hits. Basically, I guess, spoiling Monday night's match. Hey, Paul, did you miss me? And Paul's like, no. Roman will be facing him. What happened last time? Oh, yeah, that's right. I eliminated you at Royal Rumble. Drew says Roman left them high and dry. He had to pick up the slack. I don't... They keep saying this, like with Sammy, too. It's like, dude, he had cancer. He had cancer. He had to go for treatment. And no, he wasn't about to risk, getting with a compromised immune system just to entertain us stupid marks. Jesus Christ. I hate when they do that. He says he likes and respects Drew, but he's back now and no one knows who you are because of it. Roman says no one watches Raw. He ain't lying. But they're watching SmackDown for him. Who is Drew McIntyre? So Jay comes out, like just sprinting out there. Drew only looking at Roman, though. Says he's basically like, he challenges him, and you could tell the face on Roman, he ain't happy about this. Drew shoves Jay to the ground. Roman stops and they leave. Backstage, Roman is running him down. Like, just shitting on him. He got crazy. That was really cool. And then an Intercontinental title match, we get Sammy versus Apollo. Sammy's just pissed off because he found out an hour before this match. But basically, Sammy wins by tying Apollo, like getting his leg caught up in the rope that goes along the truss on the apron, and then winning by countout. So it was legal, just kind of chicken shit heel, but it worked. So that was smart. Apollo, I don't know what to say what happened to Apollo. I mean, he was, doing well, but they couldn't figure out what to do with him, and now look at him. He's doing this. Pierce with Drew backstage says he can't sanction the match, but he can give him a fight. And Drew says, do you know who Drew? Have you ever met Drew? What do you think the answer is? Yes, whatever. Okay. They do have a brand-to-brand invitational, so I don't understand. Like, now they don't have it. It makes no sense. WWE logic. So Sasha comes out to the ring. Check her out on The Mandalorian, episode 3. Really cool. Very good. I won't spoil anything if you watch it. But there was no mention of it. Also, no cross promotion, which I thought was interesting there. Recap of last week's match with the Carmella attack. All the ladies in the back are put on notice. Sasha starts to call out Carmella. Bayley comes out, and then Carmella attacks her from behind. Bayley just quantum leaped out of there. I don't know what happened. It wasn't even like they were working together, so who knows. Backstage, Otis is shoveling food in his face. Dolph and Rude come in front of him. They're making fun of him as if he's not there. He flips the table. And then a completely fresh match that we've never seen before. Dolph versus Otis. Rude out with Dolph. Nice to see that he's not in ring gear at least, so that's good. Dolph with the slap. Bad idea. Rude tries to distract. Dolph hits a zigzag for a 2 count. We get a Caterpillar and then a Vader Bomb, but while he's about to do the Vader Bomb, Rude gets up on the apron. He just gets Mad Dog, Mean Mug, whatever you want to call it. Rude's like, nah, I'm good. And then gets a Vader Bomb for the win. Basically a squash match. So I don't know what they're doing here. So we get backstage with Seth and Murphy. Murphy looks like he's totally going to screw him. Shocking. Otis backstage confronted by Gable. Says he needs discipline and a mentor. Gives him a pamphlet for the Alpha Academy. If you don't remember, American Alpha was the tag team that Chad Gable and Jason Jordan had when they were in NXT, former tag team champions there. So Otis is reading, he's like, yeah, we're going to train together, and like we're going to drink together, do all this stuff. And you can see Gable's like, maybe not so much that, but, give him discipline or whatever. But he has this devious smile on it, so obviously he's going to do something shady there. So then we find out earlier in the night that we were going to get the final chapter of Seth versus Rey. I take that with a grain of salt because who knows. We get another recap just in case you haven't been around for the last 8 months. Seth first to go for a chair, rolls away from a 619. Rey hits a tornado DDT on the apron. That looked really good. Seth goes for an electric chair, drop on commentary, countered into a sunset flip bomb, which into the barricade. That looked cool. Rey goes for the slide to the outside. Seth catches him, suplexes him on commentary. Seth sets up a chair in the corner. Rey able to stop being long darted in there. Casadora Bulldog by Rey, only gets a 2 count. Seth hits Rey with the steps. Seth misses a stomp on the steps. Rey does the sliding splash while Seth is on the steps, which was pretty cool. Seth going for the 3 Amigos. If you didn't realize, I believe it was the 15th or 16th anniversary of the passing of Eddie Guerrero. So he only gets this 2 Amigos, though, because Rey breaks it up. Frankensteiner attempt by Rey. Seth catches him, but slips off. It's supposed to go like from the top. He kind of slips, powers himself back up, with still holding Rey. Power bombs him through the table, but only gets a 2 count. Seth then goes for an eye stab. Dom pulls him out of the ring, but catches a super kick. And then Dom sells it for like the next 20 minutes, which I thought was like... sometimes I don't like his selling. Murphy comes in, hands him the chair. He's all excited. Then hits him with the V-trigger. Then Rey goes for a 619, completely botches it. Able to do another one. Does the Eddie tribute for the frog splash for the win. Bad editing by the production staff as Rey was going to kind talk to Murphy, but then they go to the recap while that was happening, so they had to basically like redo it. So he brings him in, says, "You have my approval," shakes hands. Aaliyah comes over, hugs him. He shakes the hand of Dom. Mother comes over. They all fist bumping. It's all whatever. They all embrace Murphy. Pierce backstage. Natalya is putting another triple threat match to be on SmackDown, Survivor Series team. She just wants to be on the team. She says she deserves it. She's the boat. And then she leaves. And then Chelsea Green's just standing there, just like weirdly, like, oh, hey, like just touching Pierce's shoulder. I'm happy to see Chelsea Green back. Unfortunately, we'll find out what happens. Seth is angry, going to Pierce's office, says he's done with Rey, doesn't care if he ever sees Rey again. This is about Murphy. He created him, and then Murphy betrayed him. He demands an opportunity to destroy him, so next week they'll get a match between the two. So then we get our triple threat match, Natalya, Liv, and Tamina, but then it's told to be a fatal four-way with Chelsea Green, which we assume Chelsea's going to win. Only 2 women on the team so far, and but I have one more SmackDown before Survivor Series. Makes no sense. Tamina's taking out everyone. Liv is attacking the leg. Natalya and Chelsea take out Tamina. Liv does the float over DDT on Natalya for a close 2 count. Codebreaker for a 2 count on Natalya. Codebreaker on Tamina for the win. So what we end up finding out here was at one point Chelsea was on the apron and Liv drop kicked her off, and then we didn't see her for the rest of the match. Turns out she broke her wrist. Again, this is what happened when she first debuted in NXT, and then it happened again, which is terrible. So she hopefully will be all right. This is the same one, like I said, that broke. She tweeted pictures of her in the hospital with her fiance, Matt Cardona. Obviously, it just sucks because she is so good. She's had such a snake-bitten, injury-prone career, and then coupled with the shitty creative that they've had for her, where essentially they just haven't had her. They didn't bring her on TV. They didn't do anything for her. They had her with Robert Stonebrand. Then they had her team with Chelsea. Then she leaves Robert Stonebrand, never to be seen again. Just really sucks. I really hope she gets better soon. Backstage interview with Drew. He's happy for Jay, but he came to send a message to Roman, but will also send a message to Orton. Big E's betting some guy that he can't jump rope. Wins the bet. Street Profits show up with aprons and a food cart. They said they crossed the line last week. They brought foods for him. All the foods are shaped like an L. Big E calls them New Day Light and all these other things. Another laugh off. And then hopefully after Survivor Series, Big E just doesn't have to be doing this anymore, where it's just all like connected to New Day and they can focus on him. I get because of Survivor Series, even though he should probably be on this. Wait, is he on the Survivor Series team? No, he's not on the Survivor Series team. Yeah, what the fuck? I just realized he's not on the Survivor Series team. Did he lose a match? I can't even remember. That's how annoying this is. Then we get our main event, unsanctioned match, Drew versus Jay. Drew's punking Jay early. Goes for the future shock. It's countered into a jackknife for a 2 count. Glasgow kiss. Pop up. Sit out. Sky high by Drew for a 2 count. Super kick by Dre. Drew meets him up top. And Drew does like this thing where he loves to be in the tree of woe, pulls himself up, does the belly to belly. Then Roman's music hits. He comes out with Heyman. Jay sends him into the post and the stairs. Jay says he's going to beat him. Roman says, I don't care if you beat him. Make him understand. So he goes in, he starts pummeling Drew. But apparently that wasn't enough because he turns around for 1 second and catches a Claymore for the win. Drew goes up to him, do you understand me now? And then Roman looks at the belt and says, get you one of these and then we'll talk. And that is Smackdown for the week. As always, I give my match of the week. This week, even though it wasn't the best match, the final chapter's Seth versus Rey, because thank God, or at least I hope, this shit is over between the two of them. I'm just so sick and tired of seeing it. God damn it, it's done. So yeah. But pretty good match between them. Obviously, there were some botches. The powerbomb through the table, the 619, the bad camera editing at the end. But overall, it was a very good match. Hopefully, this is the end. I just don't see how it will be, because if now Murphy is aligned with the Rey and family and Seth is going after Murphy, where's the separation there? But anyway, sorry, there were some technical glitches, so they're stop and starting there. So as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. social media is down there. Also on the audio, Podomatic, Apple Podcasts, and maybe some other places. Not sure. Check my Twitter feed for that. Also check out my AEW Week In review. That'll be a link at the end of here. So as always, be safe, love each other, and bye now.